All right, Coach. Initial thoughts on the win, first win of the season. Came from behind to do it.
Yeah, I think really difficult game. We had a difficult time establishing our possession, and I think that has a lot to do with UNF. And they came out and they pressed us, and they worked incredibly hard, and had a really good game plan against us. So we weren't in control in the way that we like to be, and that resulted in us turning over the ball in some dangerous positions. And for me, though, all in all, you go down 1-0, you find a way to get back and to win the game. That shows character, and winning college soccer games is really difficult. And so we got to be happy with the win, but we'll analyze the performance, because there's a lot I think that we can improve on in that game.
Kind of looking at the turnovers that you had in this game, a lot of them coming from that back line, a lot of shifting in that back line in terms of the subs you made and bringing in different players. What was kind of missing within that back line that started the game versus how the team ended?
Well, I think all in all, when you look at that back line, it's a different back line. And we started with Rafa as the left center back. He came out with a hamstring injury. Andreas came in and did a good job, but he didn't play in the weight game. He was fresh, but trying to kind of get back to his best level. Mael started in the outside and came inside. Zane came back in, so there was a lot of substitution in the back line. That's not usual for us. So I think they have to develop a little bit more confidence in terms of a better understanding of the passes that they need to be playing. But it's a really new group. So, when you take a look at that back line, pretty much everybody, minus Anderson, is different. So there's a lot we have to figure out.
Kind of looking at that midfield, just trying to play through that press, that very compact midfield that UNF was playing. It caused a lot of problems for you in terms of the way you like to build, because it's usually those successive passes, and every time you were going out on the wing, they were sending three against you. Every time you were going in the middle, they were crashing the ball every time. If teams see film on that and they know that's what they need to try and do against you, how do you kind of combat that and make teams not play?
Well, no, it's a really difficult situation, because we were pretty much man-marked with our three central midfield players. And so when we did come out with the ball, if we got it to the center back and he started to kind of progress forward and had a little bit of space, the movements from our center mids, they had to be really, really good. They had to be the right movements at the right moment to create a little bit of space to fit a pass. And so that's probably one of the most difficult situations for us to solve, is when you're 3v3 even numbers in the middle with your center back coming out with the ball, and we just have to get better, and we'll train it, because we can absolutely come out of those situations and progress the ball again.
Did any player really stand out to you tonight?
I think Gino came on and had a good game. I think he made an impact when he came in the second half, and created some chances. So I think he was good. I think Luca Dorado, you can see him starting to get to his level, and I think Lucas Moro, actually. I think Lucas Moro started really well, but then he went out on the wing, and I thought he had an excellent game. There was like this 10-15 minute period where we had to kind of fight in the second half to get back in the game, and I thought he had a really good performance.
Speaking of Lucas Dorado, I saw him kind of limping towards the end of the game there.
Yeah, I mean, he's now getting back to fitness, so it's tough when you miss a lot of preseason and you're just getting into training. So I think we're trying to bring Luca along and get him up to his best, and that might hopefully happen sooner than later.
Can you talk about Mauricio Villalobos, because this isn't the first time that he's gotten a clutch goal for you guys. He had one last season as well. Just talk about Villalobos' ability to really, he's the leader of this team. He's the captain. 100%. So talk about his ability to be able to just succeed when it matters most.
Well, I think he was really switched on in that moment, and I think UNF, there was some confusion in their back line. I think probably the center back thought the goalkeeper was going to get it. The goalkeeper thought the center back was going to get it, and Mauricio thought, I'm going to go get it. And so I think just in that confusion, he was the one that was paying attention and switched on to that moment. And that was so important. But I just think Mao, as a footballer, can settle us down. and help us get control of the game. Usually makes good decisions, and then as a human being, just he's a great example for how to be a professional, and he's just a great human being, and the guys really respect him. So they follow his lead, and he's become even more vocal now in this last year, and I think it's really helped the culture to have a leader like Mao, and then we have other leaders within the team too, but Mao's been great.
How much of a difference did Gino Vivi coming off the bench in the second half give to this game?
I think it was a big difference. I think he was a threat, and he could beat players. He would run in behind. He cut inside. Had a chance there. So I think he's very dynamic, and he found a way to really influence the game. And I think it was important that he come on and produce that for us.
You've had true freshman Juanvi Munoz in the net now for the first 2 games. How would you evaluate him so far and his performance?
I think it's a solid performance. I think there's things that we'll improve on because we like to play out of the back, and I think we went long. We played quite direct at times, which when we play direct, generally the ball just comes right back down our throat, and we're all stretched, and now the ball's dropping in spaces that we're not ready to defend. And I think this group is still very young. I think there were at least 6 new players on the field, 6 starters. So we have to really get comfortable with our identity and really, really dive into how we're going to play.
You hit the road later this week to take on FGCU.
Yeah.
What do you want this team to improve on from this game that you want to see them do against FGCU?
I want us to be better on the ball. Just the unforced errors, the unforced turnovers, those aren't. We don't need to have those. The players here they're better in those moments than they should tonight.
I just wanted to ask about Beto. Came out, I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to go and talk to Tessa, so I'm not sure where it's at.
In the second half there, it got a bit chippy. You can see UNF was trying to get under UCS players together,
Yeah.
but in the end, you kind of turned it back on them, and they were the ones who got the yellow cards in the second half. And they were the ones who kind of got distracted. How important is that for the players to kind of like not let them, get in their skin, keep their composure?
Yeah, I think it's a fine balance, right? Because you have to compete, and sometimes competing means it's going to get a little bit nasty. But then when you get distracted by that, and then you stop doing the things you're supposed to be doing, you don't execute on the tasks because you are so focused on either this guy that's kicked me or the referee that has made a call I don't like, and you get distracted. That's when it's a problem. But also you can't back down. So I think that you have to be on that fine line.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.